And I think it's a combination of the sports and a lot of loss in my life. But the sports definitely make me view things in a different way than most people. I always appreciate the light, how the different quality of light is each day and how it reflects off things. Basically like a Parisian. Like I love sitting at a cafe, people watching and just picking up the little details in life compared to most people that just like pass right by those type of things. And so I think it influences me in that way. Like my art's sometimes simplistic looking, but it's definitely thought out and planned in like a deeper way. I mean, I was definitely born and bred an illustrator. I loved the simplicity of being an illustrator. How, for at least me, with my mentors at the time, there was no kind of sketching involved. Like when we illustrated stuff, it was a one-take kind of deal. Like we just pen and ink, like no sketching pencil first. And I was really drawn to how you had to visualize it completely before you even started it. And I just thought it was like the master craft. And I think the boldness of it and that graphic design aspect of it led me into doing mixed media art, which I could kind of combine the illustration with really modern techniques such as like photo, pigment transfers and silk screening and stenciling and airbrushing and kind of all that good stuff. And it was just this new world and environment for me where it was like unlimited. And that was really rewarding for me to be able to explore art in so many different mediums. So I did that for many years. I'd say probably 5 or 6 years. I just did mixed media art with occasional oil paintings in there. And then I found myself wanting to kind of go back to just the basics, like the classics, the masters, just paint and a brush or paint and a knife, and no tricks. I was tired of like using the tricks and the illusions to create the atmosphere, the feel I wanted, and I wanted to just be simple again, almost the roots of an illustrator. Just like oil and a palette knife is about as basic as you can get. And I figured if I could create the feelings and evoke the emotion that I wanted to with a simplistic form like that, then it would be really rewarding to myself as an artist and hopefully to the viewer. um, Kind of graphic style that I'm really kind of going down that road a little bit more. I am doing the backgrounds, like the skies with the color in them a little bit, but it's really hard to do the thick, like knife painting style that I like when you're trying to blend so many things because of the different drying aspects of the pigment. So I'm going to definitely explore that down the road, but for now I want to do the more monochromatic, just really bold, more of the night scenes, because the majority of what they sent you is from the scenes I'm doing from the night type of skydiving and stuff like that, with the reflection of the moon on the atmosphere and the ground. So the piece Together, that's titled Together, the the body and the texture of it is a little less violent and dramatic than some of the other pieces in the body of work. Um, Part of the reason for that is when I created that piece and when I saw the houses that stuck in my mind to kind of inspire that piece of work. I saw these three houses that were just from the angle I was viewing them at, where basically it looked like they were connected, like there was no visual line of separation with them, and it was just such a peaceful thing. The sky at the time was just really relaxing. Like there was hardly any wind at night that day, and they were just very cute and kind of I don't know. It made me feel really like peaceful, and almost made me think of like my family. And so I think that's probably why when I created it, when I painted it, deep down, I didn't do it as violent and as eerie and dramatic. I just did a little more just smooth, kind of casual. Do appear to be set back in my work, and I intentionally do that, mainly because the whole reason I've done this body of work is when I skydive, especially at full moons, which are night skydives. When the plane takes off, we fly over these abandoned subdivisions in Arizona that basically are made up of tons of track houses, but they're really modern. I'm usually not a fan of track houses, but these are just so simple, and they're really modern, and they've been like primed with this gray scale of paint that is just really, to me, it's really cool and really unusual. And so when we fly by them at night, the grays just kind of pop out at you, and they kind of haunt you in a way. And there's no visible life around these subdivisions. Like there's no trees, there's no telephone poles or sidewalks or grass. It's just basically the land and these shapes, like these simple shapes, you know, that I just think is so beautiful, because it's almost like an empty canvas. Like you can paint your own hopes and fears when you look at it. And when we skydive, when we fall through the air towards the earth, these houses at night sort of kind of grow, obviously, as you're moving towards them, and they also glow at you, and it's almost like they're calling at you. And I have them sunken in the paintings a little bit, and the black and everything so much more lush and heavy and dramatic, because it's so dark. The sky's so dark, and it feels like it's wrapping around the houses while you're looking at them when you're falling through the air. And it's just a really powerful feeling as you see them coming at you, and that's the only thing you can look at. And I kind of wanted to portray that and try to let people kind of see what I see and what I feel, and that's basically why the texture is so different, and the houses are painted in a grayscale that they are. There's like you said about the perspective of some of my paintings. There is a lot of philosophy kind of thrown in there. Like sometimes I change the light values on them, as you can see in different pieces. Like the light will come like head on, and then from a side at times. And part of that is just to play with the mind, and part of it is the illusion that we get when we're flying in our plane, or when we're falling through the sky, because the moonlight bounces off the objects. So it kind of plays with the theory of light in your mind, because it doesn't really look correct, which I think is really cool, and I wanted to paint that. I wanted people to look at this piece and many of the works, and kind of think about their lifeline. And since it isn't a complete picture, like there is no other signs of visible life, it's just a simplistic structure, to kind of think about their past, and also like their dreams, and what it means, like what a home in that shape represents to them, is basically kind of what I was going after. The little poem that kind of defines my work is it goes like this. I had a dream last night. I dreamt of all these houses and a faraway land, and all that was left was shelter from the stars up above, from the past we once knew, from the heart that it gave to you. And that basically this kind of sums up my work, actually.